Welcome to a very different episode today on the Business Growth Club podcast, where you're joining me and my husband, Daniel Smith, who's a stay-at-home dad and the wingman to my business success, because we'll dive into why in a second. In this exclusive behind-the-scenes episode, I'm opening up the conversations, what it looks like to live with, work with, and be married to someone who is self-employed, and the challenges and triumphs along the way. So you're going to join me for a real and raw talk on this topic, and it might get quite interesting as well. So let's go into it. Do you want to tell them who you are? Because I won't know who you are.
Well, I'm Daniel, obviously. I'm Danielle's husband. It sounds really weird calling you Danielle.
Dani Louise Smith online.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
like
you know what I
the
mean.
Queen of Business Organisations, Dani.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Obviously, I'm a stay-at-home dad. I don't know what else do they need to know.
I don't know what your interests, what your hobbies, what do you spend your time doing? I know what you're going to say now.
Well, helping you.
I'm looking after the kids pretty
Yeah.
much, which is a massive thing though, isn't it? Because without that, I won't be able to do what I do.
Well, no, but
No,
it's got its perks, hasn't it?
it does, which we're going to talk about. So I wanted to open up the conversation because I think whatever situation you're in, it can be quite hard in building a business in general anyway. But then I think nobody thinks about how hard it might be to be the person living with someone building the business, living with like you, like the husband, the boyfriend, the mum, the sister, whoever it is, supporting the person that's trying to make the money, who's trying to create what they want to create. And I'm really lucky because a lot of people actually that I work with struggle with this, where their partners are quite negative about it. They don't support them, but actually, you've supported me since I started, which was a long time ago in my first business. But maybe going back to when I did first start, obviously started out with the keepsakes, I'd be interested to know what you actually thought when I was just started sewing these little monkeys and then it became keepsakes and then it became I'm selling them. Like, what were your thoughts at that time? I've never asked this. So in this conversation, things that we never really talked about, which is quite interesting. So yeah, what were you thinking at the time?
But I wasn't too bothered really because it was making you happy. It, I guess it's different to everyone's point of view, but from my point of view, the way it stands is it was making you happy. So it was
Mm,
time that you had to make yourself feel better,
yeah.
if that makes sense.
I think I needed it though when I first became a mum because going from working two jobs, we both worked two jobs at that point, didn't we? And
I was working three at one
yeah,
point,
you
wasn't
were, and then we had Stephen. Obviously, then you left one of those and you were doing two jobs. I was doing no jobs and I was just from home and I was bored out of my head. So I guess it kept me busy, kept me happy. Um, and then eventually it started me making me money, but it took a while to get to that point, didn't it? So in the beginning, when I wasn't making money, what what did that feel like? Because I think this is an interesting topic to cover because a lot of people, like I did, took ages. And I mean, I make a lot of money now, but obviously, being raw and real, I reinvest a lot of it. Like this year, I'm investing in events to go to events. I've started building a team because why not use the money now? Because then I can grow. But back when literally there was nothing, no money, we had a basic life pretty much, didn't we?
it? Yeah.
What did that feel like for you then when I'm spending so much time on a business that wasn't generating money yet?
Well, like I said, it was making you happy from my point of view, so I was happy with that.
Mm,
But not a lot of people would be like that, if that makes sense. And I do get where they get it from.
yeah,
But obviously, it's just one of the things that you don't want to stress about either.
yeah. I think a
Because,
lot of people do though. I think we're very different to the typical couple. Really, we've realised that, haven't we?
yeah, we have, but
Because, for
it's
example,
special.
yeah, definitely special in our household. But I think like for example, with you and coming out of work because it were originally your first operation, wasn't it? And then it became a bigger problem than we realised, didn't it?
Yeah.
And obviously, fast forward 11 years, we've been together, what, 12 years now? So it's been going on for like 10 years just over. And like all the surgeries that you had and everything. That might, from my point of view, could become, and it has been frustrating, but I think from some people, that can, and it has been a challenge to navigate, but I think some people can be negative about that as well, can't they?
Yeah,
And
that's
you
what I
being
mean.
at
It's the
home.
same situation sort of thing.
Yeah.
But then when you're in a relationship as well, it's also swings and roundabouts, you give and take.
Yeah. So, first question then, like real question, let's get real and honest and raw. What are the biggest challenges? And I think I know what some of the answers are going to be about living with someone who's an entrepreneur in the making. So, like me, what are the biggest challenges?
Um, I'd say one of the biggest ones is trying to sort the kids.
Yeah, when I'm working.
Yeah, because they've always got temptation of trying to come out to you when you're in your office and stuff like that, which they know they're not meant to, which then I've got to get her.
Yeah. And there's
But
three of them and only one you.
yeah, it doesn't help being on crutches either.
No, it does, does it? And they do take
Uh,
advantage of that sometimes, don't they?
yeah, they do because they know they can run faster than I can.
Yeah. So do you think in like a typical like household, that's a challenge anyway? That it is, isn't it? Like for a
Well, it is for
family,
anyone. That's what I'm getting at. But
yeah,
obviously,
whether it's a single parent or a family where one parent works, one
yeah,
doesn't.
yeah, it makes no difference. Obviously, there's a lot to do.
Yeah, there is, and I think like our life, I think is more balanced now than it ever has been. Like obviously before having kids, it was easy, wasn't it? Like
Yeah,
not gonna lie, it was easy. Every parent will say the same. If you don't, you're lying. It was easy before then because we could just spend money on what we want, we could do what we want, and we did have like very basic life, didn't we? Like we had the tiniest flat, like barely any furniture. Our mattress was on the floor in that flat, wasn't it? And
yeah,
now we've got like all this, like everything we have, which I'm grateful for, but it's a long way we've come. But like it was easier, basic life was easier. But yeah, and I think we've got more balance now. But that is a biggest challenge, and it is the balance.
yeah. But and then obviously, the way I see it as well, though, without you doing the job you do now, it'd been a lot harder within our circumstances because
Yeah.
do you get what I mean? I was then pulling the wage, and then I've gone from not pulling the wage in to you pulling the wage in. Now it's completely reversed everything,
Yeah. So like our
and
situation, most of the
that
listeners
comes with
know.
its well, that comes with its best and worst days anyway.
It
So
does. And most of the listeners know anyway. Our listeners, it's a thing now. No, most of our listeners know, and watchers and audience know anyway, like a bit about our circumstances. But to backtrack on that, like Dan was in work, I had a baby, we had a child, and then at that point was when your knee started getting bad, wasn't it? When you were working a few jobs,
yeah,
you were
when I
waiting surgery.
when they were working
So
at Sellers.
you actually came out of work to get you were no point going back into work, was there? Because you were getting a surgery, which was when I started working again. I was only out of work for what I had him, and then it was like 3 months, wasn't it? When he was
Yeah,
about
about
one.
3, 4 months.
I don't even think he was definitely already one by the time I got another job. I think we worked at the same time for a little bit, but it was like a month, and then you had to leave work, and then unexpectedly you never went back, did you? So that has been a challenge, and it's a very unique circumstance, I think, in terms of like our whole family dynamic. But it has been really challenging. What other challenges have you found, like with me working? Be honest.
Well, I'm being honest, it's a lot more stressful, and sometimes you feel a bit lonely.
Yeah, because I'm literally, it
Um,
feels like I'm always working. I know I'm not, but it feels like I'm
but no,
always.
because and then even when it comes to like you finish working and that, you're not actually still finished work.
Yeah, because there's always someone to
Because
answer.
yeah, do you get what I mean? And obviously it comes to getting the kids ready for bed and that, and then sometimes you're just finishing.
Mm.
So then they get all rattled back up again and giddy, and then it
You
puts you.
create that, can like you play.
No, no, not always. I don't.
You were literally tickling Stephen at 7 o'clock last night.
No, yeah. Well, I'll admit that sometimes I am at blame for it, but not all the time. Do you get what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
or I'll say one thing and then you'll come in because you've just finished work and you don't know I've already said it. I've
Yeah,
already told them no, and they'll play that against us.
yeah, and I think that's a normal situation though, like whether you're employed or not, like
And
self-employed,
obviously,
employed. Kids play you against each other, don't they? What about like me being obsessed with, because I am being obsessed with my business. That's a challenge in it because it is hard for me to leave it
yeah, it
alone.
is because when we go out or stuff like that, you're still always checking it or you'll
I'm
flick
not
on it.
always, I'm better now.
Well, within
So
reason.
the way I do it
Within
now,
reason.
because I did you, it used to be like I had to because I was scared of like I'm a people pleaser and that's just my personality and I'm scared of like not answering people, but I've got a lot better at that. Like on my days off, clients might post in like their groups if they've got a group or a one-to-one client might message me. If a one-to-one client messages me, I probably will respond. But if it's something big, I will literally say I'll get back to you tomorrow, like on a Thursday, if I've got the Wednesday off, or on a weekend I'll leave it till the Monday. It depends what it is. But I used to literally do it there and then all the time, didn't I?
Yeah,
Which
you
takes
did.
me away from you, takes me away from family, or being in the moment, like if we take the kids out on a day out or whatever. So whereas now,
Yeah, it did. When we used to go, when we went on holiday for the first time, all of us.
oh yeah, but that one was hard because we had no internet. Do you remember?
Yeah, I know, but obviously, do you get what I mean? You were putting your mobile data on, you were,
Yeah, it didn't work,
and
but yeah,
then, no, but you were still going away what was from meant to be
yeah,
a family time to a work time.
yeah. And I think that is the hardest thing because, like, from your end, it's like, oh my gosh, she's doing it again. She's on the phone again. She's picking up it up again. She's something again. And then for me, it's like that fear if I don't, it'll all go away. But actually, that's not true because people can wait. And anyone that doesn't understand waiting while you're on holiday or whatever, then they're not obviously the right person that I should work with. So there's a boundary there that people should respect in there. But you've got to set that, like in your business, you've got to
Yeah,
set
but
those boundaries.
yeah, that's what I was just gonna say though. But
Yeah.
you've also got to then stick to what you've said. You can't.
Yeah, which I don't think I had in the beginning at all. Never.
No, you didn't, but you'd say it, but and then go back against yourself
I
and do it
know.
anyway.
And then it'd always be, oh, I know I've done it. And then there's always an excuse for it. And it was an excuse because I shouldn't be doing that. But I think now I'm a lot better at like if we go out, sometimes like if it's half term, we might go out on a Tuesday because my Tuesdays are quite clear, so we're more flexible. So even though it's a working day, I will check in, but it might be while I'm on the bus and sat on the bus where the kids still chew me ear off, but I'll be on the bus and I'll be answering questions that clients have asked or checking notifications or whatever the thing is, responding to emails, whatever. Things like that. Because there's a lot of that and it is the upkeep of it is hard. Getting distracted, like heads wandering us. So yeah, it is a challenge, it is a massive challenge. Um and that is, I guess, what it's like at the worst. So that was my next question, like, what is it like at the worst? And I guess that is the worst. I wanted to get like the negative things out of the way first. I think that is the worst thing about it, isn't it? Is
Yeah.
that it's taken away from like family and stuff. But also on the other end of it, I think when you're in an employed job, when you're at work, no one can interrupt you. So like both of them bleed when you're self-employed because like for example, when the kids come to the office or come and interrupt or don't leave me doing what they were doing like they were doing this morning when I was actually writing a piece of content because I felt inspired and I want to run with that inspiration because if not I lose it. But then the kids like interrupt, they just don't seem to leave it because like if I'm not in my physical workspace, then that's understanding why they don't. But if you were sat in working in an office like in corporate or whatever job you do, say you worked in a kitchen, you're cooking, or you were a waitress and you're obviously handing meals out, your kids can't just walk in while you're at work and just interrupt you, can they? Because it just don't work like that.
No, they
And I
can't. And
think,
then when you're not but then when you're employed anyway, you've literally got a certain time when you're at work as well. You
yeah,
start at a certain time, you finish at a certain time. Once you come home, you're home. That's it. You don't pick up your phone again.
yeah, this is a boundary that makes a
Do you get
difference.
what I mean?
Yeah,
But and then when you're self-employed, that temptation's always there for you.
yeah, it is.
You hear it ping or buzz, or that's why you have your phone always on
Yeah, it's like a
silent.
fine line, isn't it?
But
It is. It is.
you still look, or it flashes, it pops up on top of your
Mm.
screen.
But
And
I've got really good at that one evening now. Last night when I was talking to Fiona, but messaging back and forth. But I have got a lot better at that now. Like we've watched a lot of TV recently. Just sat and watch TV, which is good. But I think for me, I find switching off really hard, like not sitting and doing something, as you know, like when we're watching TV, I can't just watch TV, and that's a challenge, but that's nothing to do with business, just a challenge. So what about at the best of times? So like you're living with someone that's building a business, maybe getting results, like I have recently. What is it like at the best of times, seeing that, experiencing that, and
um,
like the rewards around it as well?
well, the best of it, I'd say, is literally your face. It's how much your face lights up
Yeah,
when, say, you get a new, I don't know, you get a new client or you've just done something amazing on your computer about it to boost up your views or something like that. And
off feedback.
yeah, or
Okay,
some,
good feedback.
yeah, like you say, or someone's written back to you saying how beautiful it's been working with you and how amazing you are. And then just your face afterwards, how it just lights up and glows. It's just,
Yeah,
it's,
you've said before you like that, don't you? Or when I get passionate about what I'm doing and I don't
yeah,
show.
yeah, but I suppose I'm just, it could just be me being weird, but
No, but it's
I
good.
like that. Do you get what I mean? Me knowing that you're feeling that good makes me feel good,
Well, it's
if
like
that
that.
makes sense.
I get it because it's like that when you're cooking. But when you cook, I get the benefit of that because I get the nice food at the end of it. But you are the same, like you'll put a song on, you'll cook and you'll
But I
sing.
can't really call it cooking now because I'm not allowed to use the oven.
No, but you use like the fryer or the hob, which is safer, obviously. But when you're doing that, like you're chopping or whatever you're doing, when you are doing that, like you're really enjoying it, you're singing along, and you know when someone's happy if they're singing to songs because you can't be sad and sing, can you? Um, and you're in your element. But the bonus of that is I get the nice food at the end of it. But I guess you could say the same for me getting results in my business, like signing new clients. I signed a lot of recent clients
Yeah,
recently,
it
and
is better than we see
it's,
the perks of that.
yeah,
Obviously, I mean, we get to go on holidays, we get to be able to spend time together as well.
yeah, it hasn't always been that
Do you
way
get,
though,
no, it
but
hasn't, but do you get what I mean? But
it's happening now.
yeah,
Yeah.
and obviously that's a big perk of it as well.
Yeah, and I think being at home is a perk. Like realistically, in the last year and a half with like Archie
And
and like at school exclusions and getting him into school and those challenge days when you've struggled, like you've
yeah,
been
that's what I
sick.
mean, obviously, and the fact that you are, that's what I was just going to say then, the fact that you are at home for when I'm having a really bad day and I end up being sick all day and, or I end up being in bed all day or I can't move
Yeah,
and the perk of that is literally you're at home.
yeah, it is a massive advantage.
So it's got its ups and downs really, but obviously it's give and take, like I say, so.
It is. Nothing's ever perfect, ever. And I think we've got to release this idea of perfection. But it's really interesting to talk about, and I think a lot of people can like from listening to this can learn a lot about it because I bet families are facing similar situations. Like I've worked with clients that completely ignore the business because the kids take over the life, which can easily happen. Kids do take over your life, don't they? But then there has to be a boundary of, well, I want to earn some money. I want to do this for me, or I want to make this business happen so that we can do stuff as a family and stuff like that. And yeah, and it's just all of that. But I think sometimes people don't have or even consider putting those boundaries in place, or that they can put themselves or the business first as well. And that's a challenge. So yeah, so we talked about challenges, rewards, anything you want to say to like anyone who is maybe is the wife or husband, and has a wife or husband, and they're thinking of setting up a business. What would be your advice to someone supporting someone in business? Yeah, I'll ask you that first, and I'll go on with the question.
Um, that's it. Well, main thing I can say is just stick with them
Yeah,
and listen to them when they need to talk to you about it.
yeah, you get my
And
rants and everything.
no, not just that. I mean, because at the start,
It's hard. Yeah.
Yeah, you struggled. You needed someone to talk to.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
You needed that bit of help. That sometimes you needed that bit of confidence boosting, just reminding, what you're doing is amazing.
I think though,
You know what you're doing is amazing.
I think you saying that though, is easy for you to say because I don't feel like you've never shown any frustration anyway throughout of all of it really. Not in terms of, I think for most people it's the financial side. You've never shown an issue that, it's more the time side. But I think in a lot of typical relationships, it usually is the money that's the issue, and then husbands. Well, it's not always this dynamic, but often what I've seen is husbands pressure the woman to earn money or to go to work, but it might be the other way around as well, and that becomes a challenge. Whereas you've never done that, so it's easy advice coming from you because you've never done that. What about anyone who is starting a business? What would you say to them in terms of them respecting the family and the dynamic that they're facing? So like being mindful of how it can impact the family.
Yeah, just always remember that they are still there for you. You don't always, yes, your business needs your attention, but you can also break away and come back to what you're doing.
Yeah.
You can also just give yourself that bit of 5 minutes just to pop off and just see how they're all doing. Just to turn around and, make yourself a drink.
Yeah.
Just go talk to one of them for 5 minutes
And there's benefits of doing that as
and
well.
then go back. It gives you that peace of mind. It gives you that bit of, you know, 2 minutes away from what you're doing, just to think.
Yeah. Gives you a breather, got space for your family, and
And then
yeah.
obviously your partner, talk to your partner, just come in. Literally, if you've got 5 minutes spare, just walk in, make a brew, talk to them for 5 minutes.
But
You
you're
know,
so cute, get out of me. It's about business.
yeah, it don't matter though, but it's
Ah,
still a conversation.
yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
get what I mean?
Yeah.
It might be no, talk about no, literally.
Yeah.
It doesn't make a difference.
Yeah. It's still that
Talk about your business.
communication.
If you did come in and just talk about your business about half the time, your partners would actually appreciate you more for that
Yeah.
because you're still coming in and spending that couple of minutes just to talk to them.
Yeah. I think one of the key things though is like what I actually do and teach around being organized, like time management and making things simple, having things automated makes an impact on that because if you've got those things in place within your business, then it does allow you to just come away for 5 minutes and have a breather. Like yesterday morning, I didn't work yesterday till what, 2 o'clock? Because I went and helped your sister out because she's qualifying to be a hairdresser, so she cut my hair and then we went for dinner, didn't we? We
Yeah, but
got a bit
that
of
was nice
shopping.
though as well, though. It was somewhat
Yeah.
spontaneous. Do you get what I
Yeah.
mean? You went to go do something and then you were meant to be working,
Yeah.
but and then instead of doing that, you chose not to.
Yeah. And just did the work when I got
But
back.
yeah, and that
Yeah.
was spontaneous. It was nice. It was just me and you, yeah, my sister and
And nephew, yeah.
nephew were there, but
Yeah, but we went off chatting and
it
going
was
round
still, yeah, that's
Tesco
what I mean.
after.
It was still nice. Do you
But
get what I
yeah,
mean?
and that happens because of the way I've set my business up now. Obviously, I've got a team now, but even before the team, like you've got to set it up in a
That's
way.
where at the start you'd have never ever thought of doing that.
No, I'd have never been able to do that because I put too much pressure on myself.
No, you would have been able to do that. It's just,
It's a choice.
yeah, it's just you chose not to because you was too busy in
Yeah,
that frame of mind that, oh, if I don't stay on my business, I'm
yeah,
gonna miss something, something's not gonna come.
yeah.
It will still come.
But also, it's
And
also
I only know
so
that from listening to you,
I
so
know, but there's like he learns a lot from me. I love it. Like I talk about business stuff, and I'm like, yeah, but you don't know what, and you're like saying it back, and I'm like, oh, you do know what it means. You've been learning, which is fun. But I think there's the other side of it as well. Like, it's if you did that every day, though, the business is not going to grow. Like I could today sit and say, right, I'm not going to. Well, I'm actually not working today. We're recording the podcast now, but then I'm doing something for family gifts, so I am busy, but I'm not working on the business. So in terms of that, like I could go off and do that every day, like go to the shops and have lunch or whatever. But then actually, the business is not going to move forward.
Well, because
I'm not doing what I need to do.
yeah, but and then it comes back to what you just said then. That's what people need you for, to
Yeah.
help them to be organised.
Yeah, yeah.
And then
seeing what
also,
works.
obviously, you just got to, it's compromise as well, like I say. You don't always have to do it every 5 minutes you've got. Do you get what I mean?
Mm.
Literally, every 5 minutes you've got, you don't do that.
No, but I think
Do you get what I mean? You can
a lot
do
of
what you need to do, take
yeah,
that time to
yeah,
think
but a
about
lot
what
of
you're doing.
people that are in my audience are probably not as obsessed with the business as I am, and probably don't spend time. It's not that they don't spend a lot of time on it, they will do. It's just prioritizing what needs to happen in the business. So when you prioritize what you do need to do, income generating activities, let's face it, and doing those first, those as non-negotiables, everything else can wait so that you can go have dinner, so that you can go do the food shop and do the other things. I mean, I'd like to think that we'll get that pile of washing away that's in the corner today, but been saying this for 3 days. So yeah, just avoid that task. Procrastinate on that one. I would rather work on the business than do that. But that's the whole of the story. But yeah, I think it's really important to see both ends at scale. But yeah, thanks for doing it with me. Even though that you're probably thinking this is weird, I'm nervous about it. But yeah, and I'm hoping to invite like the kids on at some point as well. So tune in for more episodes. And don't forget to come and join me in the Business Growth Queens Facebook group and join us on the join in to my success supplement, which is my email list where every week I send out tips, stories, freebies at the moment. I'm giving away something every single month. So this to everybody on my list, I'm giving one free masterclass away every month, but then I'm doing a giveaway for those who are on the list. Like if they do a task and they will be entered into a giveaway. So definitely get involved in that. I always do so much and give so much value for free. So it is worth getting involved. But thanks, Dan, for joining me today.
It's okay.